Hello, everyone. Whoa, turn that off. Turn that off. Why is that turning off? There we go. Hello, everyone. Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder of videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to our weekly live stream Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition online role-playing adventures. I am back in the DM's chair. It feels good.
Chris, his intro was cooler than yours.
I am joined as... What have you done to our splash screen? Oh, God. Characters are everywhere.
Why did you give us control of that?
I know, I made that comment too. Like, why? I just realized that. I think we should all start just moving people around. You just copy the token first, which is greatness. That's fantastic. Oh, dang it.
I am a Sarah.
Good start.
I am joined as always by my good friends. Normally I'd be introducing you with your characters, but we'll be actually creating our characters this session. So I will say hello to Chris, playing...
Hello.
Chris. Heather, playing...
Hello.
Rochelle, playing...
Hello.
Raymond, playing...
Hello.
And Reese, playing...
Playing himself.
Damn it.
Playing no one.
He ran out of creativity.
We stream our sessions live on YouTube every Friday evening. You can catch up on previous episodes on my YouTube page, as well as read weekly session write-ups on my blog at roguewatson.com, and watch the new behind-the-scenes, no players allowed live series, Crafting Annihilation, on Thursday mornings. If you'd like to support the channel, you can check out patreon.com/roguewatson. For our campaign, we use roll20.net. For streaming, I use Open Broadcaster software and Streamlabs. Normally, I would go with our previously on Tomb of Annihilation, but since this is Session 0, we have no previously on. I do recommend checking out our previous campaigns, Storm King's Thunder, in which Chris did an amazing job being the DM, even before that with Lost Mine of Fandover and Princes of the Apocalypse. In fact, I won't have a previously on next time either, because this will just be the character creation session. So, Session 0, this is just where we are going to actually... create our character. I'm gonna fix this. You guys are gonna be nuts.
No!
I had 2 tokens. Do I
No,
still
you
have
did
2?
not. This is not.
Damn it. I was hoping you would just never notice that.
Never notice. It's gonna always be on there. You are not a Sarah. Get back here.
I am a Sarac.
I'll put you on the map layer. That'll do it.
So you're doing like a separate weekly video cast, whatever, of like the behind, like you making the maps and
Yes.
the story and stuff. That's
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of, a lot of the stuff I've seen on YouTube is like just kind of general advice for DMs and whatnot. I don't actually see a lot of hands-on like building like campaigns, and obviously since ours is an ongoing weekly one live series,
Yeah.
I thought I would
That's
do it from, but you guys cannot watch, unfortunately.
We should all cheat and watch
You
it.
cannot watch
I mean,
it.
you have no way of knowing.
No. I mean, hopefully I'll be a little bit ahead,
that
but still.
sounds really cool.
Guys,
Everyone
don't
else
go through
should
that
watch
door.
that.
Damn it all.
Wait, what do I need to watch?
No, exactly.
Thursday mornings.
No.
Behind the scenes.
I work.
Well, so do I.
Oh, so do I
So-
starting Monday.
Going into this adventure, I gave all you guys a kind of primer Google Doc that had some information on the campaign in terms
No.
of...
Let's be honest, you gave us homework.
I gave you homework. Yep.
Well, that's...
You needed the homework though, because you need like some. You need the what do they call the like the prompt, I guess. If you have like a writing assignment, you have the...
Yeah, the essay prompt.
Yeah. It's like, here's the information, and now you can craft your things around that. So it was obviously the location. We are going to be in Chult, which is a very exotic, kind of jungle, dangerous location to be had. You all are going to have your own reasons for coming to Chult that I will provide in your prologues, but you could also have your own backstories that kind of develop your characters and who you are and where you came from and all that good stuff. For the purposes of character creation, all that information is in the Google Doc, and I think it was used before in terms of everybody can do the roll method, And if you end up with just really garbage stats, which I think is if the total number adds up to less than 70, then you can just choose to take the standard. Kind of like how we do hit points every level, where if you just roll super garbage on your hit points, then you can take the average. Here, if you roll super bad on your stats, then you can just take the average. So
Can we choose to even if we don't? Because I was doing the numbers the other day, and I was like, if you roll like 11 on every stat, that's
if you just don't
higher.
like it,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was asking you earlier.
It hasn't. I mean,
So
I
you
was
just
just
didn't
doing
like
some
your numbers?
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's fine. I like everybody just to
just
give a
go
chance
back
to
to the
roll because I think
standard.
that's fun.
Yeah.
And
right.
just if
yeah.
you but I don't want to screw anybody over either, just because that doesn't seem fun.
There were only I was doing the numbers. There's only a very few situations. Like a bunch of 11s would do it.
yeah,
Or like 12s and 10s would be pretty bad.
yeah, that's true. I'm hopelessly average.
Yeah.
I'm the worst person ever. So yeah, in terms of the primer, I guess I've already talked about. We are in Schultz. I want to go over a few of the different rules for this campaign, since we've all been playing D&D for a while now. So the things that are changing. The biggest one is I'm no longer going to give out experience. And
Gasp.
I know. So there's not going to be any experience rewarded. I'm using the you'll be
is my
level 1
fault.
forever for a year. I think that'll be it. No.
That'll be fun and interesting.
Yes, every session.
This is our 17th session 0. All new characters. We're doing the milestone method, which is an alternative way of leveling in the, I believe, the Dungeon Master's Guide. And it's basically there just so I can better just determine at what and really, like, and you did this in the beginning of Storm King's Thunder, like, it was just like when you do certain things, you're like, okay, you've leveled up now. So like I'll kind of keep track internally, like, okay, what threats have they faced, how much experience would they have gotten for these kind of things, and that way I can keep track. And plus it gives incentive to not have to just kill everything. You guys are worried about, well, make sure we get the experience for this, or complete this quest, or do that. So none of that is hanging over your heads. You'll get, you'll reach those levels as you play, for sure. And I just want you to do things as you want to do them. They'll still be like loot
But
and
we can kill everything anyway.
totally could. Yeah, there'll be no consequences for that.
Is there like a bonus, extra credit?
And the other
the
reason
secret
is,
XP.
yeah, it just makes and the world design is very open in terms of you have a much smaller world than Storm King's Thunder was a huge, massive place. This one is obviously very constrained, but within that area, you actually can basically go to any location that you want and kind of explore the whole jungle. So that makes it a little less of a headache. Because I remember in Princes, it was awful trying to keep you guys in certain areas and locking doors and all that bullshit. And the other reason is there are a number of allied NPCs that can straight up basically join your party. To what extent is up to you. They will have their own loyalty system, which involves, if you piss them off, then they get minus points of this loyalty stat. And it's just an internal number that you don't know that I keep track of. And what that number does is it determines how much they're willing to help you in terms of actually going to dungeons or helping you in combat and all that kind of thing. And that way, you guys don't have to worry about splitting XP, because you're not gaining XP, so you don't have to worry about like getting more people and having to split all that. So
No
That's
damn
the
bronze
other-
dragon stealing your XP from you.
yeah, those bastards. And give bad luck to everybody. The other change, you'll no longer automatically long rest at the end of the day. At the end of the day, when traveling in Schult, and that's to make the concept that traveling in the jungle is almost like a large dungeon in itself, because random encounters are a thing, but if you just do too many of these random encounters once per day, it's just kind of bullshit, because you're just healing up all the way, so you're just kind of annihilating everything, and you heal up all the way, annihilate everything, and that can be maybe fun once or twice, but when you're going through this whole adventure, I don't think that would be very sustainable. So this way it makes it a lot more interesting and harrowing when you actually run into enemies. You have to decide, oh shit, do we need to like hide because we're low on resources, or do we want to try to get to the next area? And that's not to say you'll never long rest. I will gauge things, and you might find like, oh, we found a cave this day as a random encounter. That's a spot for a safe rest. So it's not like you have to go from point A to point B and never long rest. You'll just won't automatically long rest every single time. You
We'll
will
never long rest again.
yes, exactly. Probably gain the benefits of a short rest. for a lot of times, but I want to make that feeling that it's kind of one big dungeon area. And I talked about loyalty. And I think that's most of it. I do have the house rules are up, which you should be able to see. I believe all players can see them.
Have you changed anything since the last campaign?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to look at. It's still we still have lingering injuries, massive damage. I did add your examine a creature thing, and we'll just see if we remember it this time. But
which I didn't really do. Yeah.
I know it was your idea, and you didn't even use it.
Yeah.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
I want to. So as a free action, you guys can basically roll a skill check to determine what the fuck a creature is, if you have never encountered that creature before, and the number that you roll will determine kind of what all information that you can learn from that. So that's just, and there's a listing here what's actually the skill depends on the kind of creature. So it could be a nature check, could be a religion check, arcana, that kind of thing. Okay, one thing I added, spells with material components. As per the player handbook, I will enforce any spells that have material components, such as a 50 gold piece diamond for chromatic orb, or a 500 gold piece diamond for raised dead. Materials will need to be purchased. However, not all of these materials are actually consumed upon casting. A lot of them you just have to buy it once, and then that lets you continually cast the spell. So it's like a one-time. And I think it's just there to balance like spells with people that have to buy swords and shit. The very high-level stuff, like I think the raised dead or something, that usually requires like you to actually purchase or gain.
Consume it.
Yeah, that item, and it actually consumes on that casting.
And it specifies in the spell.
It does specify in the spell, yeah. It's just every spell that has specifically. Otherwise, like, we don't give a shit about material components. We just assume your spell focus takes care of that. The only time that comes into play is if it says requires, if it has a monetary value with something, usually a gem. Fog Cloud, I just dumbed it down as much as I could. I just literally said anybody in the Fog Cloud, it's disadvantage. Straight up disadvantage. If you're in the Fog Cloud trying to fight somebody, you're disadvantaged. If anything has to do with the Fog Cloud, it's disadvantage. Flanking doesn't apply. Dark vision can't see through it. And moving through is difficult terrain. So no stealth check, none of that, just straight up disadvantage in Fog Cloud. Let's just make it easy. What else? The Iding a Spell, I actually found this in Xanathar's. They kind of used a system that I'd used a little bit before. I don't think we actually used this at all in Storm Kings. I don't remember Counterspell being used ever in our last campaign.
Not nearly as much, yeah.
Yeah, but there's just a free check you can make. It's an Arcana check. And the DC is 15 plus the spell's level. And that tells you if you can identify what the spell is. Interestingly, and Xanathar's actually makes this comment, it is an Arcana check no matter if you use Wisdom or Charisma for spell casting instead of Intelligence. Because being able to cast spells doesn't by itself make you adept at deducing exactly what others are doing when they cast their spells. And I think that's it. Everything else stays the same for house rules, so experience will just be the biggest thing. Not rewarding experience anymore, but you guys will still level up. Probably won't level up quite as quickly early on as Storm Kings. That one was kind of blasted through those early levels. So you'll probably be there a little bit more. But that being said, I know level 1 sucks. Level 2's not much better, so you won't be there for too long. Don't worry. Alright, let's get to the good stuff. Let's do character creation. I need to move your boxes around because I had you guys in a certain order. What's the order interests you? Is Chris, Heather, Rochelle, Raymond, and Reese. So Chris, move over there.
So you did alphabetical order.
Heather, Rochelle, yes.
Hey.
Raymond and Reese. Yep, I have too many R friends.
Time to get rid of some.
I can't have any more R friend. I'm sorry if your name starts with R. We just can't.
I'm highly offended.
I'm full up. No, you're good. I'm good on R's.
I'm highly offended for my brethren.
Can't take any more. My brother is with the R's. So Chris, let's start with you. So for character creation, as a reminder, I need to go over the character monster as well. Everybody, open up your character sheet. Let's check out the character monster.
Oh yeah.
This is the new thing they added in Roll20, which is another reason we're using the official sheet, because this I think is a really cool like step-by-step process that visualizes you building the sheet, and I think it's just kind of nifty. But in addition to all of this, I do want you to make sure that you have your 5 personality traits, which are just adjectives that succinctly describe your character. And I think this is a kind of a neat exercise to have when building a character. Just summarize your character in 5 words, basically, and you'll add that somewhere on your sheet somewhere. Yes.
My my sheet isn't a character
Raise your
monster.
hand.
Yes. My sheet
Okay,
isn't
go
a
ahead.
character monster thing from earlier. It's an actual player's sheet. I don't know how to fix it. I didn't do nothing.
Ah,
I just opened it.
okay. Did that fix it?
No. Yes, there it is. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yep.
I'll put my hand down now.
There is a button on your character sheet to go back to the character monster. So obviously you don't want to do that once you build your character. It has a
boy.
big thing like on there.
I
No,
assume opt out just stops it.
I guess.
That's an interesting phrase. I like to opt out.
So yeah, the 5 things, just kind of keep that in mind or have that notes hopefully. And the quirk. There's one quirk I want everybody to have, which is I have a special quirks Google sheet up of 100 that was really fun that I just created over a span of a couple days. Of just not all of them are straight bad, but some of them are just kind of just, I don't know. Basically, they're supposed to be all just role-playing flavoring to help kind of bring your character to life. And hopefully, I put enough in there where you found one that kind of speaks to your character. But we'll be selecting that one
We'll
in
all select
this
the same one.
character process as well. Yeah, we're all pyromaniacs.
Good luck.
I'd like for all of y'all to realize the last few weeks he has been like a little giddy schoolgirl sitting
I
at his
bet.
computer. Like I'll walk by and all of the things on his computer will close. He's
That's
like, "What are
alright.
you doing?"
Yeah.
Can't see
So
any of
many
this.
tabs.
And then I'll hear like hee, and then like, "Oh Jesus." So yeah, he's like super duper excited. If y'all can't get that feel coming off of him already, so
It's that
let's-
rush of power.
let- we'll give
I
him
can
like
do whatever I want.
2.
That's right.
He'll have like 2 good days as DM, and then we'll just start destroying his hopes and
Yeah.
dreams. It'll be great.
We'll bring it back down to earth pretty quick.
Yeah.
I have so many hopes and dreams. Alright, so everybody's looking at their character monster. It's honestly pretty self-explanatory. Every tab, you move forward, left to right, and you can select your race, class, and everything from there. So if you guys all want to do these together, but I am going to go... everybody will have kind of a highlight where they can talk about their character and what they're doing and introduce us, name, race, class, and all that good stuff. So Chris, start us off. Who are you wearing tonight?
Do you want me to just like step through this character mancer as I'm talking, or
You can at least probably up until background, maybe. So we'll do race, class, and
Okay.
roll your stats, and then you can do your background. And at that point, I'll probably move on because everybody can come up with their equipment and
We
stuff
hit next.
after that. You do hit next to go from one to the next, yes. And I'm not. We don't need your full backstory, but just kind of, especially because for yours, I know for session 1, we can do the full length of it. But if you want to just kind of summarize like the concept of the character and that kind of thing.
I actually haven't thought about alignment yet. But anyway, I am playing a variant human. Variant just being that they get a feat at the beginning.
Feet, yeah, that's the only.
Pretty good.
thing. Yeah, that's the reason to play human.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Let's say 35. I haven't thought about a lot of this stuff. Let's just say neutral for now. Maybe I'll change that, but I'm just gonna talk because actually trying to select these as I'm talking is not. I'm having to think about stuff that I haven't thought about yet.
Just talk, just let it flow.
Yeah. So human, variant human, class. He's a rogue. Probably he'll go into cleric or something else pretty quick.
He'll find God at some point.
He'll find, yeah.
Hey, God.
What is abilities? Oh, abilities is actually rolling. So do you want me to roll now?
If you've chosen your race and class and the things, then yeah, go ahead and.
Oh, okay, hold on. I haven't.
You can do the
quick
roll.
on that.
Unfortunately, the way the character monster works, I don't actually see when you select things, so I don't think I'll see your sheet until it's completely done. So people
Okay.
watching my stream might be a little more bored, but hopefully we'll talk about them as they go.
I'm gonna actually step back after I do this. I think I can do that.
I wonder if the rolling will appear in the
Roll for stats. Oh, it's gonna do them all at once. Ooh, this is. No, I'm tense. I'm gonna get some shitty rolls.
And we
Take
shall
a
make
drink
it for you.
All right, roll 46. Drop the lowest. Let's do it.
Ta-da! Wow, that is hopelessly average.
That is pretty average. What does that add up to?
What does that up to? What do we get? 11, 13, 13, 10, 12. Oh, you got a 15. That actually seems pretty close to the standard array, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
64.
There's no way.
No,
That's
it's gonna
real
be higher
low.
than that.
Let's see. 11,
I dispute your math.
13, 13,
74.
10, 12.
My friend,
Wait, I
that
thought
is
you said
better.
the lowest.
That is better than the standard array.
That is better than standard array, and I feel like
Because
the only
there's
thing I'm
no
losing
eights.
is one point in the second to highest number.
Wait, what's the thing with drop the lowest? What?
It
did that.
rolls-
I already did that.
You
It
roll
does it automatically.
4 d6s, and then you drop the lowest, and it automatically does that in this window. So you can see when you hover over it, it actually eliminates the lowest number.
Oh, I see. But each one counts. Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
So are
I
these
mean-
your scores for like in order, like strength, dex, con, or
No,
do
you
get
can
to
still choose.
what you use? Okay.
Yeah. It just rolls them all at once.
I think in that style that they generally let people pick the class after they've made this roll.
I think
Like,
in the
oh, yeah.
early, I don't know if anybody watching the stream has played like D&D in the old days, but I mean it was hardcore. People were like, "All right, now you roll your
Yeah.
strength," and you roll, and you're like, "I rolled a 7." Like, well,
Yep.
have fun with that character. Like, oh no.
Yeah.
This is
That was the
millennial
one-
D&D. Okay.
That's right.
That's right. We need our
Well, you know, I
options.
think I discussed this before, but it is especially the way we play these games. But people play characters for like way longer now. Like our characters last for over a year. So
Yeah.
you know, before I think, and especially maybe when you're like younger kids or something, you're playing this character for like a month and then they die. You're like, all right, let's roll up a new character. But it's like, oh man, I get so attached to you guys.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so in lowest to highest is 10, 11, 12, 13, 13, 15. So the
Yep.
only thing I'm losing is 1 point on that second highest number. Otherwise, it's better than the array.
Hmm.
I guess. It's not great, but I'll take it. I'll have to actually think about what I'm going to put them in.
Oh yeah. Chat's pointing out that your roll 2, you rolled only 1s and 6s.
Seriously?
You rolled 2
Oh,
1s,
wow.
2 6s.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I did. I'm at 13. Yep. 15 will probably go into intelligence.
Really?
The 13, yeah, 13. Well, I don't know.
Do you get any plus stats for a human variant?
No, not the variant human.
None. Okay.
Or wait, maybe I don't think so. I think you just get the feet.
Just get the feet. Oh, interesting.
Maybe I'm wrong. On
No,
I
chat.
have
Meat
to
grinder
step up.
mode is not on. That's.
Oh wait, I get
Oh,
2 plus
dear
ones.
Lord.
I do get 2 plus ones. That's what I
Okay.
get.
Yeah, I was thinking everybody got something.
Yeah.
Turn
I
it-
don't know what regular humans get.
Plus
I
one
think-
everything.
Yeah. Plus
Oh,
one everything.
okay.
Yeah, Trevor, human variant feet.
So I can pump one of these. I can pump my 15 up to a 16 and one of these 13s up to a 14.
Yep. Seems to be the play.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna go my 16. I'm gonna put in intelligence. The 14. I'm gonna put in wisdom.
Wow.
13 charisma.
He's a rogue, ladies and gentlemen. A rogue. Best stats,
12
intelligence,
dex.
and wisdom. I like the.
Yep.
I like the
12
commitment.
dex. 11 con and 10 strength.
I love this character so much.
So now that I've just told you what that is, I'll tell you why.
Brains.
It's because that's right. The character is basically just a hard-boiled noir detective character. He's going to be super good at a few skills, namely perception, like eyeing people and being able to tell when they're lying or when they're hiding from him and whatnot. Real good at like investigation, sort of almost Sherlock-esque. But he's gonna be kind of shitty at combat. He's not gonna be great at it.
Kinda shitty.
Which is the 12 dex for a rogue is that.
Yeah.
Backgrounds.
There we go. Put it on the map layer. Now you guys can't fuck with
Haha.
Take that.
it.
The background, it only has the PHB stuff in here currently, so I'm gonna have to actually custom that.
Yeah, unfortunately, if anybody's choosing, something that's not in the player's handbook, I know some of you have.
That's fine. I mean, I was gonna
races.
rename it anyway.
Yeah, I think you'll have to choose a custom race and then put everything in manually.
I was gonna do the Urban Bounty Hunter, but to sort of rename it to Private Investigator.
Okay.
That's what he was doing prior to this adventure. He was just being a PI, tracking people down.
So when you go to when you do custom, it gives you a chance to fill out like what are the because all the backgrounds either give you skill proficiencies or tool proficiencies or like a language and all that. Yes, I believe everybody's asking about what is this rogue? That's one smartass rogue. Inquisitive rogue doesn't need dex. Can
That's what I. So
even Chris can make
Yeah,
inquisitive work. Yeah, I think so.
yeah, exactly. Inquisitive Rogue. Yes, that. Okay, yeah, I didn't say
Chris is
that, but
playing
yeah,
on hard
that's
mode.
where he's going.
Dex. Rogues don't need dex. Please.
He's not going to be melee combat. He is going to be in the back with a fucking hand crossbow, taking pot shots.
Yeah.
That's
What
that's
DM
where he goes.
What DM would ambush that? Like he's
He'll run away if he has to.
day 5 of running through the
You got this, guys, right?
Good luck, guys. It's not my forte.
what is your name?
Calder Mannix, but he goes by Mannix, so that is what will be on my character sheet and token.
Excellent. So, detective rogue with a what is it, bounty hunter background or urban
Yep.
something?
Yeah, it's called Urban Bounty Hunter.
Urban bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you've done your all the way to the background. Do you have your 5
Yes.
personality traits?
The 5 personality traits. He is disillusioned, curious, confident, judgmental, and suspicious.
Probably hear me furiously typing. All right, disillusioned, curious, confident, judgmental, and suspicious. Sounds like a real friendly.
That's right. Yeah, he's not the nicest guy, probably.
Excellent. And what is your quirk?
Trust issues, suspicious of everyone. Sort of I don't know if any of you guys have watched the most recent Sherlock TV show.
I have.
Sort of his personality in that, where he doesn't really trust people. He just assumes they've got something nefarious or malicious in their back pocket.
I don't care for Benedict Cumberbatch.
Well, I won't be doing that accent.
Thank you.
I'm not sure I could, even if I tried. But yes, trust issues, suspicious of everyone. And yes, I have a whole backstory typed up, but I can read that later.
Yeah, I think we'll do that for like we can do the concepts and a little bit of that for this session, but for the full background stuff, probably do it in session 1. If you have, I mean, you can say like a little bit like you've got a detective agency or whatever that kind of stuff.
The short points are he grew up in Baldur's Gate, good at spotting lies from people, so he became a private investigator, just sort of tracking down people, tracking down runaways, cheating spouses, escaped criminals, that sort of thing. And he gets a job. Short story: he gets a job to find somebody in Chult.
Indeed. Okay, and I have shared my list of quirks in the chat in case somebody wants to check out what everybody's going to be looking at for their choice of quirks. All right, so
That's exactly right. Tactical retreat. That's what I'm calling it. That's gonna be a macro I have. Taking a tactical retreat.
Roll for tactical retreat. You have disappeared.
Yeah.
All right, so I trust you can figure out how to do the rest of your character monster equipment. Lets you do
Yes,
either, I think, starting
I will,
equipment, or
yeah.
you can, use the wealth to select.
Oh, I was gonna try it. I was gonna ask. I think we talked about this before, but if I roll for money and I roll less than the average amount of money, will you let me take the average amount of money?
Do they have an average amount of money listed somewhere?
It's the amount you can take just
Oh,
base is the average. Like the average is like half. which is the value of all the equipment you start with.
Yeah,
basically.
I think I'd allow that. Yeah, that seems to go with whatever else we're doing. I'm sure a
I
DM
forget what the
wouldn't
rogue is.
knock
though.
you out and steal all your shit.
I don't like you already.
Yes, you can do all these things, and there will never be a consequence. I'm not keeping track of all these favors you're asking.
Money is shoot. What is this? Doesn't say, oh, maybe it's under the actual background. What is the urban bounty hunter? I can find that out real quick. Urban bounty hunter.
Are you gonna roll for money? Is that what we're?
Yeah, I can't find it though. Where does it actually say how much money? I thought it was under the actual class.
Yeah, it should be in the background. Doesn't that determine starting wealth? We do know.
It doesn't say on here.
D&D occasionally.
It says refer to maybe criminal has it. No, it doesn't. All right, well, I'll come
It
back
says
to that.
you get a set of clothes appropriate to your duty and a pouch containing 20 gold pieces.
No,
I think-
there was
It's your class.
there was something else.
It's your class.
Yeah,
gives
but
you-
I don't see it in here. It says something somewhere along the lines. It says like instead of taking the starting equipment, you can roll blank x blank times 10.
Oh. For rogue, alternatively, you may start with 44 times 10
Where'd you find that at?
at 5etools.com.
Oh, okay. Scroll in the book. 44 times 10.
Yeah, that's instead of getting any of the starting equipment you start with, which
Right.
is
Yeah. Exactly.
a good amount of stuff.
So we'll see if, and I think if I roll less than half is average.
Yeah.
Okay. What is half? 8. Right?
Yeah. So 80 gold would be the average.
Yeah.
It's
All right,
a lot
I'll
to
take
start
that. It is, but equipment actually adds up pretty quickly.
with. Yeah. So you have 110 starting gold. Is that what that means?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. I trust you can do the rest of your character sheet from here.
I will. Yeah, I will start working on it.
Heather.
Hello.
Your character for this campaign.
So for this campaign, I will be playing a half-elf rogue, who will eventually be going with some shadow monk. And the half-elf that I decided to go with is of a drow descent, because, I've wanted to play one since we started, and they have straight drow have too many failings, and the half drow, you get all the good stuff of being an elf, but none of the weaknesses of being a drow. So I'll take it.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. You don't burn in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't have that disadvantage
So you can
on
be
me for
outside.
sunlight. So there's that. So the class that I'm starting with right now is rogue, as well. So I guess I can roll for my abilities at this point.
What's your character's name?
My character's name is Colette. Which, hilariously, if you look up a drow language dictionary, means mistrust.
Nice.
They probably have like a million words for that.
Oh, yeah.
And none for love.
Alright, so I'm going to just click this roll for stats thing since we get to do
Do it.
the thing.
Oh boy, you went really low and really high.
Wow.
And a natural 18, but I've never seen one as low as a 5.
Wow.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's
That
some
is-
min-maxing right
that is a
there. A fucking
min-max roll.
5.
A 5 is bad.
That is like lower than like a normal like a peasant you'd meet on the street, right? Like I think I read somewhere like normal
An average
people are like
commoner
7,
are 10 on everything.
10 on
They're
everything.
at
Okay.
10.
So can that 5 be a 10?
If you want to take the let's see what what does that add up?
Yeah, what are
Five
those?
is a 5 is a -3 modifier,
Ooh.
and 8 is a -1.
Oh god.
You're at 71.
But-
So you're right at the
Oh.
standard, even given that.
Oh,
But
You can
18,
take-
18 is really good.
18
but-
is
yeah.
insanely good out of the
really
gate.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't actually mean to roll. I was just looking at it on my sheet. It
She was
doesn't
so
count as my
excited.
rolling die.
Oh man. Oh, why you gotta do this to me, DM dude?
That
All right.
is, I don't know. That's a tough call.
Oh, let
I
me
mean,
look
there's
at
a
my
dump
things
stat and
here.
there's a fucking diarrhea stat.
Do you have 2 hard dump stats? Because if you do, this is a great roll.
That's
But if
true.
you don't have 2 stats that you do not care about at all, then this is not good.
Well, see, and then here's where my D&D stupidity comes in. Like what some of the stuff actually does. Like strength, I don't think I'd really care about. Because
Right.
even when I go monk, dexterity is going to take the place of any strength thing.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
dex will be, if I keep these, obviously the dex is going to be 18 because that's also what you use for rogue.
Yeah, you
But-
can be super dexterous and just not be able to hold up a wet noodle.
Yeah.
Long, spindly arms.
You could dance across the
Um,
chasm, but you couldn't hang onto a cliff face.
Yeah, I mean, and then wisdom, I don't really foresee myself needing that. Because I think
what
in-
DM would mind control you? That's just
Yeah, that's going to be.
I say do it. My vote is to do it. I mean, Mexican. That's fun.
chat says
Yeah.
strength and charisma, but I think Hafter actually gets +2 to charisma, so you could put like that 8 in charisma and then make it a 10.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't, unless you wanted a good charisma, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at what
I
this
don't-
nice, wonderful character mancer sheet gives us here.
I don't think she can
Yeah,
get
those
20.
stats are so exciting.
Those are insane stats. Yeah, I don't think she can get
Well,
20 dex.
I get +2 for charisma, and then I get +1 in 2 others already for being a half elf.
Yep.
So
Oh, they rolled almost all even. numbers.
yeah, which
Yeah, so that's odd. Yeah.
one of those I chose was I have +2 charisma, and then I did a +1 dexterity and +1 con. So, ooh, oh man,
That's crazy. What did you have to roll
Uh.
for a 5? A 3 and a 1-1-1. Good night.
the game is already hating me.
yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm keeping these numbers.
Do it.
I'm doing it. So, all right.
Oh, also, I want to know what you guys' focuses are skill wise too. I'm just out of curiosity because I'll tell you my skill focuses are going to be investigation, perception, and insight. Those are the 3 things that he's going to be really good at.
Okay.
I would assume most people want to take perception. That tends to be a common
That tends to be yeah,
standard you'd
generally.
want to take.
Man, this is really gonna suck.
I don't. Yeah. I mean, monk wants a little bit of wisdom. I think.
I thought
Well-
it was intelligence that they wanted.
No, it's your key save is wisdom, but I don't know if you're actually using any of your key points unless you do like you get stunning strike, and then I think that save involves your wisdom modifier.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be that much. In terms game wise, I think wisdom is generally better than intelligence, unless you want to do a lot of the skill rolls. Those are intelligence, but defensively, there's a lot of all the mind stuff is wisdom saving throw kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's real crazy.
Oh man, this is gonna be bad with arms like a limp noodle.
It's like, catch this rock. Oh god.
Oh man, it's like I want to have like great constitution because that gives you better health
Yep.
and like better things, but I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be bad.
You just need to find the Gauntlets of Ogre Strength and bump that 5 up to a 19, and you're good to go.
That's right.
Okay. How about, can they just be, like, randomly found under a rock? Like, as soon as I land on Schult? Yeah, so 18 dex.
Nice.
Charisma's gonna be the 8, so that way it'll be a 10, so it'll be a flat even. Quite honestly, I'm probably gonna do intelligence as a 5. Because we've got Chris to be the smart one.
Your
I'm
character's
done with
gonna,
him.
your character's gonna like grunt.
That's pretty dumb.
That's kind of dumb.
Oh God, I don't know. Oh, move
mean,
on to someone else
really
while I
funny,
try to
though.
figure this
Well,
out.
I mean, like I said, it's more. I don't know if it's straight up like I always flavored it like intelligence is book smarts and wisdom is street smarts. Like intelligence is like how academic are you
Which,
in your knowledge
I only
base,
know a ver-
and wisdom is like how well do you know how things work based on your like experience in the
Here.
world and like you learning from
Here's
people.
what the book says.
Oh.
Intelligence measures mental acuity, information recall, analytical skill. Wisdom is awareness, intuition, insight.
There you go.
And I only know a very little bit about your background, but that could make sense because you may not know how to read.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you may know so little of
You
the
were
world.
just trained to do one thing:
Yeah.
kill. And look.
question is,
good.
are you gonna
I
go
don't feel like
spells?
intelligence like really comes up as much as a skill that like I don't feel like it's as much as need.
It
as
doesn't,
wisdom,
yeah.
you know? Like I
Yeah.
feel like with my character intelligence would be more fitting with my background, but it's like
Yeah.
not gonna be that useful.
Which one is for spell saves?
Wisdom
There's
is
all
generally. It seems like a lot of the mind spells involve a wisdom saving throw. Very, very few things. Although chat is reminding me of mind flayers, but very few things tend to involve you rolling an intelligence saving throw.
Yeah.
The main thing intelligence gives you is it's the skills. It's a whole lot of those skills are intelligence based.
All right, so screw it. So strength 12, dex 18, con 16, intelligence 5, wisdom 12, charisma 8.
Okay.
Which, after everything is said
before-
and done, that's before my pluses.
Yeah.
So there we go. And then we kind of already hinted at some of my background in that I am a trained assassin who has hired an individual to help find somebody.
Yep. I will go into your connections, but I believe you and Mannix have met each other before.
Interesting.
Yes. And what was your okay? What were your 5 personality traits?
Where's my little sticky note? So I came up with invisible. Since I'm since the background I'm going with is criminal and the hired assassin. So invisible, proud, predatory, obedient, and deep. No, wait,
Ooh.
that is not the right word, but okay, we'll go with it.
Deep. That could mean different things.
Yeah.
I don't know why I wrote deep, but apparently I did. I think I meant to write discreet, and I got distracted, but you know, it works.
Discreet's a more specific word than
I like
deep,
discreet.
for
Yeah,
sure.
let's go with
Yeah,
discreet.
discreet.
Deep could mean pretty much anything. She doesn't say much. She must be deep.
Yeah, there's this word. So deep. So much going on. And then what is your quirk?
I guess I'll roll that D100 thing.
Oh boy.
You know what? Let's just
roll
I
for a
didn't
random
bother
quirk.
to read the full thing.
Somebody didn't do their homework all the way.
Nope. We're just gonna see what happens. We're gonna go for it. How about number 61?
61. Put it on the board. Mispronounces and makes up words to seem smart. That goes so good with your 5 intelligence.
It works. It works.
Oh man.
There's so many words she's never heard.
And you're super like serious about it too. Like
Yeah.
nobody would want to correct you.
Well, no, they're probably afraid I'll kill them.
Yep. That's amazing.
Oh man.
Oh, so do I get to roll for my money too? Since
Sure.
How do we do this before?
Well, your money's gonna be the same as the since you're also a rogue, so it
Uh-huh.
is.
Hmm.
What did you roll, Chris?
44,
44.
and then it's times 10.
Yeah. Roll 44, and then multiply that by 10. If it's less than 8, then you can take 8.
Or you just take the base.
Holy
Jesus.
guacamole!
I'll take
She got some money on
140
her.
gold.
140 gold to start with. All right, and I presume you guys have the means of figuring out how to buy things. You're starting in a city, so you can just start with whatever equipment you can afford, basically. That's in the player's handbook.
So we have to use that money to buy our stuff.
I mean, you don't have to buy
Right,
anything
well,
if you don't want.
yeah.
You can just have that money, technically. But well, the
There
option
is-
is you can
But
either
like, if
take.
we want weapons.
Well,
Right.
the
Or
option is
armor.
it lists a selection of starting equipment that's like the recommended that you can just take that if you want, or you can
Oh.
choose to roll for your starting wealth and then shop your own stuff with that wealth. So it's just a choice, whichever one you want to do. All right, so Colette is done.
How do you spell that?
I think. Yeah, how do you spell it? Caless?
No.
No.
Khales.
Ah.
Wait, say again.
Colette.
Khales.
Okay. What were alignment? I forgot about alignment for.
I didn't think about it ahead of time. I
Yeah.
said neutral because I don't
It's
know.
true neutral for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going leaning neutral, chaotic neutral, just depending
Okay.
on certain scenarios.
All right.
God, that intelligence score is a
That's
5.
pretty funny. Yep.
Oh man. So after my bonuses, my dex is 19, my con is 17, so
Wow.
yeah.
All right.
Any stat point upgrades are all going into intelligence.
And see, this works perfectly about why you and Chris would want to work together because you
That's true,
complement each
yeah,
other
I'm the
fucking
exact opposite.
perfectly.
Yep. I can't take care of myself, but I'm smart.
Yeah. I'm super smart. I'll get us all the discounts. All right, Rochelle, you already rolled your stats.
I didn't mean to though. Can I roll again? Because that was not,
I don't know. We didn't
dramatic
allow
enough.
rerolls for anybody else.
I got to keep a 5.
Well, let's back up. What,
I don't know that yours is that good. Though,
No.
looking at them.
It looks similar to Chris's, where it was close to standard, but yours might actually be below. But first, let's go race. What are you playing?
I am playing a Triton Bard.
Triton. Triton is the merfolk, D&D merfolk, I guess.
Named Gillian Flounderson.
Gillian?
Perfect.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Uh-huh.
All right, and what is your character like concept? Oops.
So, so I'm like, so the Tritons, as described, are kind of like, rare creatures and don't interact much with the surface world. And so my character is kind of like nobility and kind of erudite. And the premise is that my brother went missing, so I'm out searching for my brother. So yeah, I can give you my adjectives if you want. Yes, that goes
yeah,
along
let's go
with
ahead and do those. Your 5 personality traits.
That kind of goes along with the thing.
Yeah.
So my character is kind of like basically on her high horse. So she is
Such a high horse.
pompous, but yet kind-hearted, philosophical, tenacious, and socialite, which is what you had for my kind of concept, which I think makes sense because I think it kind of comes along with some of the some of the negative connotations that go along with being a socialite, like a little bit superficial and
Yeah.
So she's like a somebody in the Triton society.
Yeah,
I'm sure
pretty
she'll react
much.
well to being in a jungle.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. What
So-
about your quirk? Have you thought of which quirk
Oh yeah,
you
so
want?
my quirk, I'm going with 65. Dramatically swears vengeance against every foe.
That's good.
I will not rest till you're dead,
Yeah.
and you.
You giant boar! You're
God.
the worst thing to walk this earth. Excellent. I like that.
Okay.
Over dramatic. I feel like that could go really well with
Yeah.
that character.
Yeah. So these are my scores, huh?
Yeah, you rolled
Okay.
a 68, so it is straight up
68, which
not as
is-
good as
it's-
the standard
Yeah.
array. Although you do have a
Okay.
16 in there, but
I will take the standard then.
all right. The standard is, I think it shows you on there. I'm not actually looking at your sheets while you're doing this because unfortunately it doesn't show me while you're doing it in real time.
I don't know if it.
I think it's 8, 10,
Oh wait,
12.
so I can change it to.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm gonna be, and I get a +1 for strength, con, and charisma. But basically, charisma and dex are going to be my priorities. So it's just like, so it's like one, like a 15, 14, 13, like one for each of those.
Yes.
I'm making sure I'm okay.
Yeah.
The spell tab says the arcane is a mystery to you.
Yeah. So I think on your, so like you can't choose Triton on your race on your character monster, right?
No, I did custom.
Custom. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
did
sure
that
how
before we
exactly that-
started, actually.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Well,
I'm not sure
so
how
the
it
only
works,
thing
but
it says. Okay. Oh, I see. I did not scroll down far enough. Okay, so it says like Triton, and then I had to put in my ability score, my alignment. Lawful good is my alignment.
okay.
Yikes. Okay, yeah, I gotta put in all this stuff.
Yeah, so you might have to
So,
manually add
like,
whatever
at the-
those.
Yeah, at the bottom there's all like the drop menus for like language proficiency and skill and all that stuff. So I can
Yeah.
put
you
that
have to-
in. Yeah. So then it says like spellcast. Okay. So yeah, I gotta do all that.
So that's the only bummer about
But-
the character monster is it only has the player handbook stuff in it right now. So anything that's not in the player handbook, you'll have to go and you'll have to select custom and then just custom add the things that you're supposed to have in there. Which, Raymond, you'll have to do that for Tortle as well, I think.
Yes.
You know, fancy races. Did you want to take the starting equipment, or do you want to roll for your starting money?
Do I still get my instruments? Like if I take the money, do I still have my 3 musical instruments? Because that sounds expensive to buy.
It does sound expensive. I think you have to buy everything. I think it literally says you either take the starting equipment or...
I'm just gonna take the starting equipment
Okay.
then.
Yeah.
'Cause one of my musical instruments I've chosen is the bagpipes. So just
Perfect.
like imagine bagpipe music a lot.
I always do.
I chose.
This underwater creature plays the bagpipes. It sounds very different
I don't know
underwater.
how it works. Yeah, I chose-
That's a gurgling sound.
The bagpipes, the dulcimer, and a shawm, which is like a horn
I
or
really
something.
wanted
I
you to have
don't
like
know.
a giant conch shell that you were just like blowing out of.
Well, it wasn't on my drop down menu.
Just
so
gorgeous woman just plays like this giant tuba, like.
I mean, bagpipes are pretty close to that.
That's true.
Now I'm tempted to get the bagpipes too, so we can have a duet.
Announcers coming into town with bagpipe music.
Bagpipe duet, yeah.
Oh lord.
Interesting.
Okay, is that... And I believe you are the
think that's
only one that's actually going to start with spells. I think Bard does start with some spells, right?
I do, yeah. Hold on. I think I start with 2 cantrips. Hold
And
on.
2 first level, I think.
And 2 first level. That's right. Yeah. Okay. I wrote down the names of these, but not what they do, so don't expect me to give you details on them. But for my cantrips, I chose light. Well, that one's obvious, and friends, the one where you, I guess, like influence people to be friendly. But I think it's the one where afterwards, then they're more hostile towards you when spell wears
They know
off.
you've done it to
Yep.
them. Yeah.
And then for level 1, I chose Healing Word and Thunder Wave. And so I guess, my character is probably not one who has been in like combat a lot, so probably not super experienced at combat. So try and choose kind of like a mix of spells that aren't so damage focused.
Okay.
So
Seems like a good mix. All right. So I think that's. Let's see. We got traits, quirks, alignments, all that. I think we're good on Gillian. Let's go to Raymond. What will you be playing for Tomb of Annihilation?
I'm gonna be a turtle.
A turtle.
Tortoise.
Essentially a giant turtle.
Yep.
I guess I'll go in order. So automatically as a turtle, you get +2 strength and +1 wisdom.
Turtle.
His age will be 25, because adulthood is 15 years old as a turtle, and you live up to 50. Languages they already know are Common and Aquan.
I think the Triton speaks Aquan too. Isn't
Do they?
I mean, they should. You're from the damn ocean.
I don't think so. I forgot what language it was. Hold on.
Doesn't look like they have any skill proficiencies, but they are. Wait, why is this all changing?
No, chat says Bard knows 4
Primordial.
first level spells. I don't know.
What?
Yeah, I think it's 2 cantrips and 2 first level.
Okay. Maybe you have 2 spell slots to start with. Sorry, go ahead, Raymond.
So no skill proficiency as a turtle, but you do have weapon proficiency in simple, martial, and all the armor and shields. Anyway, his traits are clumsy, confident, naive, kind-hearted, and loyal. What?
Sorry, say it again.
Sorry.
Oh, I don't know. Clumsy, confident, naive, kind-hearted, and loyal.
Okay. Nice. Just kind of a...
Confident about his clumsiness. He's a nice guy.
Confidently clumsy.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. He's gonna be a fighter. And the fighting style I'm choosing is 2-weapon fighting. So basically, you can add your ability modifier to the damage of the second attack.
Is that the... Oh, that's the dual wielding.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right? Okay, cool. You're Leonardo. Nice.
He's Leonardo. Yep.
Excellent.
Wait, does that mean I can attack twice?
I think you use
one?
a... I think dual wielding is built into the system now where you can always... As long as you're using... Chat might not tell me with this. I think it's a finesse weapon or maybe a light weapon. As long as you're using that kind of weapon in both hands, then you use a bonus action to attack with your offhand weapon. And normally the penalty is you can't use your strength modifier or dex modifier, whichever one you use. But you took that fighting style that does let you use it. So
Yeah, I never fully understand that, but I'll have to look it up.
okay.
But that's what
I'm
he's gonna be.
pretty sure it uses a bonus action to actually attack with. Kind of like how in the campaign I was using that polearm blunt end. That was my bonus action. So if I cast a bonus action spell, I couldn't actually do that.
Do we all get bonus actions for free?
If something gives you a bonus action, then yes, you have a bonus action.
I'll have to look it up. All right. Ability roll. Roll for stat sounds pretty fun.
Do it.
Do
What's
it.
your character's name, by the way? Wow, you like them
That-
14s.
Wow, that's pretty good, I think. 'Cause that's a bunch of
That does seem
higher
pretty
than
good.
average numbers.
Raymond rolled a
77.
77. Fucking
That's good.
dynamite. He did this last time.
Yeah.
Last time he rolled like 80 worth of stats. It was bananas.
Like that. His name is Georgiano,
Georgiano.
but when he comes back from where he trained, he's gonna be George.
George.
Let's call it George.
George the turtle.
George.
George the Ninja Turtle.
He rolled really good stats, just none of them are actually higher than a 14.
Yep. So it looks like I just have to choose where the 8 goes, pretty much.
Yep. You're just incredibly above average. Where does the turtle get? +2 strength?
And +1 wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay.
Oh.
So turn that 13 to a 14 and you're pretty much, you only have one like glaring weakness and it's not even that much.
I couldn't find out where I decide whether it's a dexterity or strength for their attack. I can't
It's
figure it out.
It's normally always strength. Like, unless something. If I think that's the one where if you have a finesse weapon, you can use dex instead. Or I believe monks have the ability to just use dex.
Oh, so finesse means to use dex. Gotcha.
I think finesse. If it's a finesse weapon, you can use dex instead of strength. But otherwise, you use strength for all normal melee weapon attacks.
All right. Well, since I don't have to choose too hard, I mean, he's not going to be very charismatic, having trained under a giant rat. So it's probably the A, and being a little on the naive side, his wisdom's probably not very high. So.
Okay.
All right. And then what's next? A trait.
Your quirk. Yeah, we got your personality traits. What was your alignment?
The best one. Lawful good.
The goodest one, lawful good. Okay.
The goodest one I can get.
Put me down for the goodest one.
His master was a very lawful good person. So.
There you go. I think turtles are
Alright.
supposed to be generally pretty good dudes.
Right. My background?
Your quirk, which is that list of D100.
I didn't look through it, so I'm just gonna roll.
Go for it. Let's get a roll. Let's get a roll in there. How exciting.
31.
31. Show me 31. You are a clean freak. You hate being dirty and gross.
Interesting.
So glad you're going to be in the jungle.
Yep.
Hates being dirty and gross.
So, is that what do you type that?
I'm just putting this on my notes for you guys. You can put it wherever you want on your
Gotcha.
sheet, maybe like in a flaw or something, or anywhere in your personality. Basically, after you complete your character monster, it'll take you to your regular character sheet, and from there, where you can fill in like your personality and bonds and flaws and all that. Heather, no, I can't hear you. Can you say something?
Muted?
Nope.
Nope.
Can't hear you.
It's you talking, but we cannot hear you.
Yep. We've lost you. Did you want to take your starting equipment, or did you want to roll for your wealth?
I'm gonna roll for gold.
Roll for gold.
How about
Roll
now?
for gold.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, you're good.
Shoot.
Y'all haven't heard any of the fun, quirky things that I have said.
What happened to Chris when he came on?
You'll assume they were just so witty.
Just gold
Yes.
mines.
I had the page with starting gold, but now I can't find it.
Yeah, it's whatever. It should be listed under fighter, I guess. Yours is 5d4.
Times 10.
Because fighters probably need more shit. Although you don't need armor because you're a fucking turtle.
Yep. 100.
That's probably not great. I don't know what I think your starting equipment's probably better than that.
No, it
Might
just says
be.
2 martial weapons.
Is that it?
No, your starting equipment is
It's
Either-
got armor and it's got a whole bunch of other
either
stuff.
chainmail,
yeah.
leather. It's either chainmail or leather, longbow, and arrows, and then a martial weapon and a shield, or 2 martial weapons.
Oh, you get all
and-
4?
Yes,
Yeah.
you get all 4 of those
you
dots.
only got
Within those dots, they have either ors. It's the A and Bs,
Oh.
but you get all 4 of those.
Is it too late to pick?
No, you can start equipment if you want.
Okay. Well, I can just sell this other crap I don't need.
You can. Well,
That's right.
the other one does come with a longbow, so that might be used. Well, I guess the third one gives you a crossbow. I don't know.
Yeah, let's do that. I just want the 2 martial weapons, really, but
Yeah, exactly.
I'll pick.
But yeah,
other
look up the
ones.
rule for a 2-handed weapon because I think you do have to have a light weapon either in one or both hands to be able to dual wield. There's some kind of rule with that. It's in the combat if you actually do want to
Okay.
dual wield them.
Okay.
Fighter has no spells, so I think we've got everything for Raymond's Turtle Fighter. Reese, last but not least,
Hi.
what are you doing?
I'm gonna be a dwarf.
You'd be a dwarf.
Specifically a hill dwarf. Gets a little bonus to wisdom.
Why would that be useful?
I don't know. Of him as neutral good. He's proficient with the brewer supplies, of course.
Anybody want some moonshine?
The wisdom comes in handy when you're going to be a druid.
Ah,
Druid.
you also get spells.
Yeah.
A dwarf druid. What is a dwarf druid's what is your name first?
My name is Theron Bristlebeard.
Theron
Nice. That is a
Bristlebeard.
that is a dwarf-ass dwarf name if I ever
Sure
heard
is.
one.
Very good. And how would you describe your character in 5 words?
5 words, you say? He is diligent, even-tempered, gruff, stubborn, and miserly.
Nice. Those are some dwarf-ass dwarf adjectives, too.
Yeah.
Miserly.
Real friendly guy.
Hmm.
What is your quirk?
When I have him, the one that says that's fascinated by the undead, he thinks that's an affront to nature, so he wants to stamp it out wherever he sees it.
Mm.
Which one was that? The hates the undead? Or
Yeah. 91?
91.
obsessed with death or undeath or goth? Okay.
You're a goth
He's
dwarf.
not a goth.
Not a goth. Okay.
He's
So
anti-goth.
you're obsessed with the undead and that you hate them.
Yes.
Okay. Obsessed with hating the undead. Okay. That makes sense because you're all about life. As a
Mostly.
druid.
Yes.
What is life? Let's see those stat numbers.
All right.
Can we get lower than a 5?
You could have technically. Oh shit!
Ooh, look at that. Nothing lower than a 10 and 2 16s and a 17.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Damn, son.
That's an 80 right there.
Oh, and
That's
it's a
pretty
chicken
good.
dinner.
God.
You won the character creation session.
I demand a reroll for my 5.
Oh,
yes.
man. Well, nobody else rolled an 18.
Yeah.
Those are some damn impressive stats. Holy shit.
That's really good.
If you have
I'll
you
take
could have 2
by
18s.
system.
If you have a +2 and a +1, I don't know what
Mhm.
stats dwarf gives you, but you could straight up have 2 18s at level 1.
Yeah, I could have a 18 Constitution, 18 Wisdom.
Wow.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
That's crazy
That's really
good.
good.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just have
The
to
burliest of the hill dwarves and the wisest.
see if I want more intelligence or dexterity.
Mm.
But yeah, man.
So far, you guys have a really good balance of stats between the 5 of you, I would say.
Yeah, we got dex, strength, wisdom, intelligence, and then con everybody needs. But
Rochelle's got charisma, I think.
yeah,
So
charisma.
everybody's got like something they're pretty good at.
Yeah. We've kind of, it does seem like we kind of divided up the great, although, yeah, goddamn you racist.
He's got everything. He's gonna be more wise than you are.
That's what was bugging me. I was like,
It's killing
shit.
him inside.
The things that I was supposed to excel at. It's this goddamn dwarf.
He's gonna shapeshift into a bear and still outthink you.
You know, I've
It's gonna be
been
infuriating.
thinking about it. Since I'm supposed to like mispronounce and really have conviction about what I'm mispronouncing, I'm really thinking that's going to be all of your names. I have such conviction that I am saying your names correctly.
Yep.
I just do that on a normal basis, so
It's just my thing.
I'll teach you.
Sure thing, Bristlebottom.
And you start with. Do you want to do equipment or spells next?
I'll do equipment.
Okay.
So for the equipment, I can start out with a simple weapon. Since the dwarf can use a warhammer, is there any way I can start out with a warhammer? Or do I need to buy that?
Is that a simple what is it? I haven't looked at y'all's things.
Let's see. I just had it, and I tapped it away.
Is that under druid?
That's just under weapons. That's a martial weapon. The dwarf is proficient in it, though.
Oh, I'd say you have to buy it because it looks like it doesn't come with
Okay.
starting equipment. Which your
Alright, I'll
background
start
does
the-
give you some money in addition to your starting equipment, or you can take the wealth instead. Which druid gets screwed on that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Druid is 2d4. Being a wandering nature lover does not pay the bills.
No, it does not.
So yeah, that's what you mentioned the background. That's what I was going to ask on this next tab. So we have a background too, which I haven't actually
Oh.
chosen.
We've been skipping the backgrounds, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done that on.
I didn't
last-
Yeah, because that gives you the starting equipment.
Yeah, my
Right.
bad. I think we did that with Chris and Heather, and just haven't done that with the last three, y'all.
What was your background, Heather?
Criminal hired assassin.
Right.
All right. Reese, we're going to pause yours real quick and go back. Rochelle, do you know what your
Let's rewind
background
a
was
bit.
going to be?
I mean, it's either going to be entertainer or noble, right? I didn't know. That was something
Okay.
I forgot to choose.
Yeah, I forgot to go over that. But it gives you some combination of like either an extra language or an extra skill proficiency or a tool proficiency, and it always gives you some amount of extra like money and equipment to start with.
Noble, you get history and persuasion as skill proficiencies, one gaming set, a language, and some like fine clothes and some money.
Fine clothes.
Entertainer, you get acrobatics and performance as your skills, and then a disguise kit and a musical instrument. You have another musical instrument.
Wow.
Oh boy.
I think entertainer you can
And-
flavor as like a diplomat too. Isn't
Oh,
that,
yeah.
like one of the variants.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally forgot about backgrounds for some reason with the rest of y'all.
Well, and then I also got like some skill proficiencies already with the bard. So
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah, and you want to make
Harry-
sure you
Harry
don't
took
overlap
some
those
of
because
it.
a couple of them, like if you select a
Right.
skill with your class and then your background gives you a skill, then
yeah.
I think it'll tell you when you
I
go into review. If you once you get to the end and you get that review page, I believe it'll tell you like, oh hey, you get your, your background gives you perception. You also selected perception here, so you might want to change that up and make sure you have as many skills as it gives you.
Well, I think I'm gonna go with the noble because I can already use kind of like the performance stuff from the bard
Okay.
class, and then I like he said an extra language, which is kind of nice.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Sounds good. Raymond, what was your background gonna be?
Outlander. You
Outlander.
grew up in the wilds, far from civilization and the comforts of town and technology. Survive weather more extreme than any city dweller could comprehend. And enjoy the solitude of being the only living creature for miles in any direction.
Oh wow.
The wilds are in your blood.
Nice. All right,
What do I put
Reese, let's go back to you. What was your background?
I guess is gonna be hermit. Yeah, I live in seclusion.
The quiet seclusion.
I guess sort of entirely alone. He's more like he helps people from his clan find their way back when they get lost. So he's not around people all the time, but sometimes.
Friendly hermit.
Yeah.
Yet gruff and miserly.
Yeah, he figures that they're pretty stupid for getting lost, so I'll give him Just enough to get back home.
I'll help
We're
you,
gonna
but
bring
I'm
those
gonna
fools-
groan about it the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and as Rochelle was saying, their background does give you extra skill proficiencies and a few extra things. And then what were your so you want to roll for your wealth, which was 2d4, I think.
I'll take the starting equipment.
Oh, okay. Spells, druid spells. I don't know how many you get, but
I get 2 cantrips. I'll be taking Druidcraft and Poison Spray.
Mm.
choose a number of druid spells equal to your wisdom modifier plus your druid level. That's how many spells you know. I'm about to have a cat crossing. Come on, kitty. Oh, stand there. What were your
oops.
first level spells?
I didn't-
Are you still putting that in?
I'll get back to you on that one. I thought it was just cantrips. My bad.
Oh no, sir! You are a full spellcaster. I believe you and your
Cat,
wife are the only. Yep, there she is.
cat butt.
The only spellcasters in the first couple levels, at least.
She going for the toad again.
No, she jumped down. She had to be seen for a second.
Camera's on.
Yeah. See me.
Should show the world our toad.
I'm pulling the toad out of there.
Hold the toad in front of the camera
Yeah.
and watch him jump away.
I'll start out with Animal Friendship and Speak with Animals.
I think you start off with a couple. It should be your. What did I
Mhm.
just say? Wisdom modifier plus your level. So whatever your wisdom
Okay.
modifier is. to
That'll be
start.
5.
Good lord. That's obscene. So you know
Yeah.
5 spells to start with. You still only have the 2 slots, but you know that.
I know, right?
spells.
2 Cure Wounds, Fairy Fire.
Oh, I do already have fairy fire. If you want to choose something else.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, from being drow.
Detect Magic, then,
That's a pretty good one.
and Healing Word.
Word. Okay, I think that wraps up all the things that we need to do in terms of rolling and choosing. So I'm looking at Chris's sheet right now because he's got his. He has gone through the process and clicked whatever it was, like finalize or something, and then it actually like builds your sheets. You can watch it kind of
Mm-hmm.
go through, and then you end up with a character sheet that looks a little plainer than what we were used to. We're using a third-party character sheets, Roll20 sheets before, and now we're using just the official Roll20 D&D 5th edition character sheets, which are designed to just look like the standard official sheets you would find in the player's handbook. But the nice thing is you can go in the compendium and just drag, like if you want a weapon, you can search that weapon in this bar and just drag it over to your character sheet, and it should put it in your sheet and set up the attack and everything for you, I believe.
Where do you put feats at? I don't see that section.
It's a.
There's a
it's-
feats tab
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Oh, is
after
it-
spells.
between spells and review.
I don't have that.
No, he's after the character.
Oh, like manually, because the feat I want to add was not. It was in one of the later books. It wasn't PHP. So I'm trying to add it retroactively, but
I think it's just under features and traits. I think you have to add it in there. That's where all the.
Just
it
add
just-
it
it-
in
I
as
think it
a-
just holds everything. That's a class ability, a feat, just anything that's not.
oh yeah, feat's one of the options. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, unfortunately, if it's not in the player's handbook, you will have to do it manually. If it is in the player's handbook, then you can find it in that compendium and then drag it over into your sheet. It should add it, and that goes for spells and all that. But if something is from something else, like a Xanathar's or whatever else, which but I should have mentioned this, for the purposes of this campaign, I've allowed the players to use anything that is in a published official 5th edition book. So that includes things like the Sword Coast Adventures Guide, or like Tomb of Annihilation itself has some backgrounds in it. Xanathar's, Mordenkainen's, like any of that kind of material. And so it's more relaxed than the Adventures League, which Adventures League is just a player's handbook plus one thing. So here you can just choose all those things, but as long as they are from those official materials, there's no Unearthed Arcana or anything from there in there. The Turtle package I also allowed, even though it's technically not published, but it was made Adventurers League legal, so I included that as published material, so that's why we have a turtle. And they added a whole bunch of races in, was it Volo's Guide to Monsters, I think? They added all those monstrous races, so just using the published material, you have just a shit ton of stuff you can choose from now. 5th edition's been out for a couple years.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. Alright, so that's my feat. That's the feat I took.
Prodigy.
He gets an expertise and a skill, basically, and he gets proficiency in a bunch of stuff.
Huh.
More skill monkey type stuff.
Expertise means you're extra proficient? Oh,
Double.
yeah, it just says there.
Yep.
Okay, double.
So I have 3 expertise stats, which means currently my insight is +6, my investigation is +7, and my perception is +6.
Wow, at level 1, that's pretty bananas.
At level 1.
Nice. Does anybody have any questions about their characters in terms of how they are coming together or how the character sheet works? I do want everybody to still... I mean, if you want to just use those 5 personality traits as your literally personality traits, that's fine. That's kind of why we did it. I just think that's a better method of doing it rather than trying to select one from the book. But if you want to use any of those things from the book, because it's like, I think the background lists like, here's what you should do for your ideal and your bond and that kind of thing. You can do that, and just whatever helps bring flavor to your character. I'm not going to necessarily require any of that, because the main things I wanted to require was those 5 words for the trait, and then the 1 quirk for your, basically for your like flaw that you can actually like role play out. But if you want to add any other things to the characters to help flesh it out, totally can do that. So there's sections for ideals and bonds and all that.
Right. How do you do the drag and drop thing? That's not working for me. From that compendium tab.
I believe. Let's see here. Let's see if I can add a dagger.
Have it open a certain way.
Yep. So I just did it. If you
Doesn't work for me. For some reason.
Are you just trying to drag literally the name of it?
Yep. That's alright. I can do it manually.
So if I search, I just added a dagger to your page.
Yes, you did.
If I just search dagger and then under items, make sure it was the actual item and not the proficiency, I just hold down the word and hover over it, and the character sheet says accepting drop from compendium. And it lets me drop it in there. I thought it would be able to let you guys do that as well.
It's not working for me for some reason. It's just sort of... Oh. Well, I actually see the thing where it says accepting drop from compendium. It just doesn't
What are you trying to
actually.
add? Oh,
A short sword?
you're adding proficiencies. I can see you doing it.
Oh, how do I add a short sword as...
See on the
Oh,
left
I'm
page?
under proficiencies.
You're adding proficiencies, yeah. Make sure you're adding
okay.
the item, not the proficiency.
That's
Because you just
me.
added a whole bunch of proficiencies.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's a good question. Make sure we're all... Because this is all new stuff. I can see you're high. You've whispered me correctly.
I know, I was just making sure it worked.
Yep.
I changed something real quick.
Okay. So yeah, make sure you can go to the compendium if it's in the player's handbook, which like obviously all your starting equipment and stuff should be, and most of the spells should be. You can just search for that thing and then make sure it's under that correct subheading. So make sure it's under item or spell, and you can just drag that onto your sheet. The sheet should say accepting thing from compendium, and then it should add it into your character sheet once your character sheet is done. So you've gotten out of the character monster, you've actually built it, and you're looking at the main character sheet page. Sorry, Chris, I just bumped you over. And I believe.
And so I put in like a bunch of like all the traits for Triton, and they did not pop up on my character sheet.
Oh dang.
Is there a way to go back into the thing?
You can, but I don't know if it deletes everything.
That's
Just starts
annoying.
over.
Yeah, I think it might start over.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if the system works well with
Yeah,
custom.
none of it. Yeah, it does. Like, even at the top, it doesn't say my race after I
Oh.
entered all of that in.
Damn,
Bummer.
that is a bummer. There is a limitation on the system, I guess. If they have,
That's how
if-
Roll20 gets you to buy the
Yeah.
the expansion
I'm
stuff.
sure they'll sell. Yeah, they'll do the Sword Coasted Adventures guide or whatever, or Valos, I think is what that's from.
And Xanathars, yeah, you can
Yeah.
buy those, and
Yep.
I'm sure you can do it then. Yeah.
Which the nice thing is, I have the player's handbook on here, and I would just I selected an option to share my compendiums with you guys. So normally you wouldn't even have access to like the player's handbook stuff, because that is something you have to purchase in Roll20. But,
Oh wow. Okay.
But I've got it, and I can share it with all of you, which that is a nice advantage to have with Roll20. At least lets you share them. But yeah, it is kind of a bummer. They don't really have an official partnership with WotC that way that I know of, in terms of they can offer you, like, if you own the book, then you get, you know,
Yeah.
the module in Roll20. That's not really how it works. So for those of us just to double dip on a lot of that, it's a bummer.
So I noticed that the attack rolls are still doing the old 2-number thing. Is that just how it is?
No,
can you
I was
change
looking
that?
at that. Let me look at your sheet real quick.
Is it like a setting?
Okay, so everybody, yeah, I had this. I've turned this off on all the NPC sheets, but since I had to make new characters, you don't have that. Once you're done with once you're looking at your character sheet, you can click on that gear tab, and in the upper right corner it says Roll Queries, and put that on Never Roll Advantage.
Mm.
And then it will not.
How do we roll advantage at that point?
Just roll it again.
Okay, since we're not doing damage until.
Yep. And so the nice thing is,
Okay.
you can see here. Did you guys see my roll?
Isn't-
Chris's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And notice how it does not roll damage automatically. It just did the attack roll right there. So I rolled a 5 with a +2. I rolled an 8. And if that hit for some reason, then I can say, okay, that's a hit. And now you do your damage. You'd actually click on your weapon, and then it adds the damage later, which I think is really nice to do that. So when you do an attack roll, it will not automatically roll the damage. You have to then click that. So if it's a miss, which I think that's more exciting than if something misses you, you don't get to see what it would have like hit for or something.
Right.
And yeah, so
That's
if you ever
interesting.
have advantage or disadvantage, I would just have you straight up roll again. That'll just eliminate that. I don't like seeing those 2 numbers all the time. It's just a hassle to keep track of in this way. It's
Yeah,
just if
yeah.
you want to use your advantage, disadvantage, even after you roll, that's totally a possibility. Just make sure everybody's got that. Because I think it defaults to always roll advantage. And you can have it to be a query, but I would just have it off all the time. And that way, if you ever have advantage, disadvantage, you can just roll it again.
Nice.
Boy, your character
Getting
is
some
shitty.
shitty roll. Yep.
An 8 and a 5.
But I rolled a 5 and a 9 whenever I rolled it. These are terrible rolls
Yeah,
immediately.
your character's gonna do everything he can to not fight.
Fuck your race. 16, like right off the bat.
How do you click that off?
So, in your gear tab, in the upper right corner, there's a roll queries, and it's a drop-down menu, and select it and put it on never roll advantage.
Okay.
Yep.
Nope.
And then whenever if something hits and you want to reveal your damage, you then click on your weapon below the number. It's a highlighted thing, and then that will actually roll your damage.
Okay.
Chat saying the character manager is broken when it comes to adding custom races. It never saves anything but the stat ups. Trevor, I wish you would have told us that
Thanks
before.
for telling us now.
Let's let Rochelle get through all of it,
man.
and then we'll say something.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. I hadn't tried making custom characters before.
Wah, wah.
That's a bummer. Disclaimer: you took the hard mode. God damn, 16 for 9 damage.
Wait, why isn't it adding my sneak attack?
Sneak attack looks like it works differently. You have to check that box before you hit the attack. It's like a toggle. So
Wait,
check the
where's that
box right below the weapons. There's global damage
Oh,
modifiers.
yeah.
Check that box and then hit a weapon.
It
It's
is
actually kind of a neat way to do it.
It is checked, though.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Then it should be doing it. Huh. I don't know why it's not then. I think mine's doing it. Let's see. Nope. Or no, I didn't have it selected. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, mine's doing it.
Trying to do it on top of each other kind of breaks the window.
Ah!
Yeah, I can't get your sneak attack to work either. That's weird.
Maybe you have to just enter it again. Enter
If you
it
just
in
click
manually.
it,
There
it works, I think.
Oh.
Okay, maybe mine's
okay.
busted because I chose a short sword 2 times versus the bow and arrows.
Oh.
So it works if I select the second short sword, but not the first one.
Oh, weird.
Maybe delete one of those. Well, you said you wanted 2 of them. Yeah, that's okay.
That's weird. Maybe it's saying one of them was like my offhand or something.
Oh, maybe it thinks one of them's your offhand. Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know how to change that. Let's see if that's an option.
God, that intelligence -3. That's gonna suck.
Only when it comes up.
Yeah, you can't be asked to make any of those kind of.
How am I proficient in an intelligence saving throw?
That's just a rogue thing.
As a rogue, weird. Now it's
Yep.
only a -1.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, where can I add my spell at?
I'd flavor that as being your character's mind is so limited that anything attacking you is like, I can't find a way.
Do you add armor just under equipment?
That's a good
no.
question.
Let's see. No, his equipment is just a.
Is
text
armor just
field.
manually that you have to enter in? I'm still kind
I
of
don't
learning
know.
your sheets too, because I've done a lot of the NPC
Yeah.
sheets.
Is it under items?
I thought so, but you can't put AC in under items or anything like that.
It's just manual equipment.
And then you have to change your AC yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, AC is manually
Just a
modifiable.
flat
so maybe you
number.
have to just.
Yeah.
All right.
A few of
I'll
the
just
less
do that.
sexy perks that the shape sheet did in terms of that.
Jesus.
What? Roll a 21 over
What's
here.
that?
With his fucking
Oh.
claws.
Turtle claws. Turtle claws.
Oh, so first you roll to hit, then you can click.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. So first you choose if you can even hit or not, and if you don't hit, then you wouldn't actually click your damage. If you do, then
Which
you can.
will actually take away some of the metagaming with the inspiration, where it's like, I really like that damage. I want to try to reroll that back.
Correct. Yeah. That'll change things around. This will be more like how you were playing, or how we should be playing, like the tabletop, which is you roll the attack, and then it's like, did that hit or not? And it's like, well, do you want to use advantage just because you wouldn't even roll damage
Yeah.
unless you hit, essentially.
Right.
So I'm guessing you want us to leave it to say don't auto roll damage.
Correct. Yeah. Leave it on. Don't auto roll damage.
Oh,
And-
Reese, I was wrong. I know Dancing Lights first, and I'll know Fairy Fire at level 3.
Okay. That's
If you
That's
want to
fine.
change.
I already changed. I'm taking Entangle instead of Healing Word.
Ooh. Yeah, if I drag leather armor in from the compendium, it just adds it to the item name. Nothing else.
Okay.
I can't. Yeah, if I drag in Dancing Lights, it doesn't do anything for me.
The spell?
Yeah. The cantrip.
Yeah, it did. Go to your spells tab.
Oh, why isn't it on the front one? Under attacks and spellcasting.
I don't think Dancing Lights is an attack.
Okay.
It will add offensive spells to that column. Spells that have attack rolls, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But otherwise, all your spells will be added to the spells tab. And the spells you kind of have to play with. They all have their little gear icon, and you can choose whether to display their full text or partial text or no text. And if you use a spell on the core tab where it has the attack, I believe it literally just does like the spell's attack roll, and you have to go in there and say if you want it to do, if you want to display any of like the descriptive text with it or anything like that. So you have to play around with the sheet a little bit.
So since I accidentally put it in twice, can you get rid of one?
Yeah, if you go to the lock symbol, I think you have to uncheck that, and then that puts a little like trash can.
Yeah.
Now we're in the portion of the session where we're just doing the like, here's how to work these sheets, which I figured would happen because these are new character sheets for us.
That happened in our last session too.
Yep.
Like the
Yeah,
last
we were using
half,
different
it was
character
just
sheets in
us
that
sort
one.
of like
Yeah.
doing our own thing, asking
And this
questions.
is
every once in a
important. Like
while.
we need to know how to work our sheets, and this is why this is a separate session from the start of our campaign, so that we can do all this like technical stuff and make sure everybody's on board, and we don't have a lot of those issues at least starting up.
in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, so the armor thing's weird because I also have a shield equipped, so that should be +2 AC, right?
Yeah, I think you just literally have to
No,
make-
you know, I figured it out.
Oh.
It's a thing. If you go to an item, which if you drag it from the compendium, it does this automatically. But if you that little tiny circle on the bottom right, click on it, it has equipped, and there's a mods section where my leather armor says. What
That's
does it
kind of
say?
cool.
Item type light armor AC 11, like AC colon 11, and it changed my AC up there.
Yeah. Mine changes too. Like,
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe just drag a shield from the compendium. It's probably the easier way to do it. Let it do it automatically.
Where's the compendium?
It's the I tab in the right hand thing.
so, do I
tab.
On the right hand where the chat log is.
Oh,
Yeah, you should have the like chat window, the journal, and the compendium. It's like the info, yeah. And what we discovered with Chris, if you're dragging weapons or items, make sure you're actually under the item subheading and not like the proficiency, because there are multiple listings for things.
Mm-hmm. I have proficiencies in a forgery kit and a dice set. I don't know.
Hey, dinosaurs, you guys want to play some dice?
That's right.
Play some dice.
I speak 4 languages.
Jesus. So yeah, that's something interesting to know. My guy speaks. Where the language is at? Common, Dwarvish, Thieves' Cant, and Undercommon.
We're almost the same.
Oh,
Common.
really?
Common, Elvish, Thieves' Cant, and Undercommon.
Yeah. I mean, we're both rogues. It's sort of like we're starting out the same place.
How do I drag it over?
When you have searched for it and you see the actual name, just hold down the name and drag it to the character sheet itself.
So
I
like,
don't know if it's in a different tab, it won't let me.
If it's popped out, it will not work.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which you just have to close it and reopen it without popping it out. I figured that out.
Yeah, I usually play with it stuff popped out, but if you're adding stuff in there, you
Actually,
have to.
yeah, if you're trying to actually edit it, it doesn't
Yeah.
work that way.
All right. Yep, I did it.
Nice.
That is a cool perk.
Yeah.
There will be, and if you want to choose spells that aren't in the player's handbook, since there are spells that were added in like Xanathars and other things, you can do that. They just won't appear in that compendium, so you'll just have to do it manually.
Mm-hmm.
Hit dice. Yeah, what's everybody's hit points right now? Because Reese's are insane for a druid. How do you have 13
Fuck
fucking
you,
hit
Reese.
points? Is that the dwarf thing gives you more?
Oh.
Yeah, I have an 18 Constitution,
Dear Lord.
and the Hill Dwarf gives me +1.
He's a 13 hit point fucking level 1 druid.
So start out base is 8, +4, +1.
Ha!
Wow.
I have 11.
I have 8.
Wow.
You're like a wizard.
That's
10.
pretty much.
I have 12.
You got more than the turtle fighter.
Yep.
Wow. Damn good armor class. You were gonna be like a fucking rough and tumble druid, aren't you?
I hope so.
Oh,
Hoping
that's
to-
we need to talk about your beast shapes. I forgot. We need to do that too.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if you want to save that for when I actually leveled up.
Well,
But we can talk about it now. It's
Yeah, let's
fine.
go and talk about it now. That's true. You don't really get them to level 2, don't you? But
Mm-hmm.
How do you drag stuff over from the compendium?
So you're in the compendium. When you see the word, your character sheet has to not be popped out. It has to be like just how you as it opens by default. But you just hold down on the word itself and drag it over to the box of your character sheet.
Okay.
They'll automatically sort it somewhere for you.
Just watch it. Just watch if you're in items or proficiencies, because I tried to add short sword proficiencies like 8
he's
times.
got a bunch of like very specific proficiencies in his character sheet now.
So yeah, at level 2, I'm going to take the Moon Druid.
That's cool.
Moon.
Yeah, Circle of the Moon. To be able to transform as a bonus action on my turn.
That's level 2.
It's level 2, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when I'm in my wild shape, I can use a bonus action to use one of my spell slots to regain 1d8 hit points per level of the spell.
So I think we're gonna go with the that rule that you can start with. What did I say? 3 shapes to start with. That were
Uh-huh.
Whatever made sense for your region or whatever. And then you can learn shapes. Either I have to check that. I thought I wrote it down somewhere, but it was either a nature check from like far away for a while, or it was a animal handling check if you were like right there in their face, like interacting with them. And I forgot what the DC level was, but there's basically like a way for you to like acquire shapes in the game with skill checks, which I really liked that because that's a fun way. And there are definitely going to be a lot of opportunities for you to learn a lot of pretty exotic beast shapes in this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Become the animals.
The animals.
Let's see if ammo tracking works.
Oh yeah, that never worked in the last character sheet, did it?
It didn't. It never did. For you guys or NPCs.
Yeah. Wow, you rolled a 21. Look at that.
Nice. It's an 18.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
That's right. Nah, it doesn't look like it does. At least not that I can figure out. I do have use as a resource.
There might be an option
Did
somewhere
you,
to check it. Or...
did you turn it on? There's an option.
Yeah.
I did, yeah. Ammunition tracking. I don't know if
API
you.
required, whatever that means.
Yeah, I
I
think
know,
you need some
yeah.
kind of extra script thing to.
Oh. Now under light crossbow, there's a section for ammunition. I wonder if I type in exactly what's in here. I wonder if it links. Crossbow bolts. Nope. Got excited
Top
for a second.
5.
So I can choose something as high as CR1 at level 2, but I still can't choose something with the flying or swim speed.
Correct. Yeah, those level at some point in the levels you gain the ability to take swim, and then later on it's flying.
So one of them will definitely be the brown bear.
Oh damn! I'm gonna be stealthing everywhere. Oh,
Yeah,
+8
I-
for stealth
Whoa!
and +8 for acrobatics.
You are really good at
You
a
are
select,
like assassin.
a select few skills.
Yeah. Yep. Jesus. Yep. Those are about the
Wow.
right rolls.
And then Archon. Hey, I still got a 13.
You rolled a 16 with your -3. Look at that. As long as you roll really well. You can handle any. Look at that! All those intelligence checks.
I'll get them out of the way now.
19, yeah. You scoff at that -3 modifier. What were the other shapes you were doing, Reese? Or did you know?
I'm not really sure, just since they're all going to be ground.
Okay. Yeah,
Similar.
you don't have to figure them out now, but and obviously
Okay.
I'll let you guys know. It'll be, since we're not doing experience, but it'll be that thing where at the end of a session I will say, you guys have leveled up. Prepare for this level for the beginning of next session, and I'll try to time it also where it makes sense where you guys are in a long resting situation or have just done something big. But you guys will have a week ahead of time as usual to level up and prepare all that stuff. The Thieves' Cant. Okay, are there any last questions about your character sheet or your character in general or the campaign or any lingering questions, comments, or concerns going into next week?
No.
I think we've handled everything. This will be a little bit of a shorter session, which I kind of figured would be as much because we are pros at this by now. We know how to make characters.
We know how to do
We know
this.
what we're
Yep.
doing.
Sure.
I am really excited about y'all's characters. I think y'all did a really cool job coming up with some really unique and fun ideas and concepts. I didn't realize until we built these characters how well you all balanced out
Yeah,
all
that's
your
interesting.
skill sets and what y'all are good at. Some of you are very brainy, some of you are brawny, some of you are dexy. You've got a good mix of spell casting and martial prowess. So I
Sure
think this
thing,
is-
It seems like each
Brutal.
of us is expert at least one attribute.
Yep. And when you all get together, you can summon Captain Planet, which will be really cool. I am definitely excited about this campaign. I think that we are ready for next week when we begin session 1 of Tomb of Annihilation. So that's all the time we are going to have for this week's session of Tomb of Annihilation. Thank you to Chris, Heather, Rochelle, Raymond, and Reese for playing. Thank you to our wonderful fans for watching. You can go to roguewatson.com for recaps, patreon.com/roguewatson if you'd like to support my channel. We're live streaming our D&D adventures every week. We will see you next time.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Session 1.
Sure thing, Minx.
Minx. Yep. Okay. It's gonna be a thing.
I'm just gonna constantly mispronounce all of your names.